if you have access to a line of credit or you have a good credit score, you are in the perfect opportunity to grow your detailing business. And let me explain you why. In this video, I'm going to break down what most people get wrong about credit, where it stems from, and how you can actually use credit to grow your mobile detailing business, and why using credit is better than cash in most cases. Now, for those of you that don't know, my name is Ryan Khan. I took my own service business past $1 million per year by the age of 21. I run the largest marketing company for mobile car detailers in the entire world. We've generated over $40 million for car detailers in the last few years, and I took my own car detailing business past $27,000 a month by just the age of 19. So most people get a lot of things wrong about credit. First, I'm gonna lead with a story about how someone we worked with, all the beliefs they had about credit, how they use credit, and then how it actually helped them to really scale and grow their business. So John over here, right? John had all these limiting beliefs around credit. He didn't have a ton of cash. He was young. He's 22. He lived at home. He didn't have a ton of bills. He was working a job. He quit. He started his business. He was never able to get more tthan one client, not counting friends and family. So John was struggling. John had $500 in cash, which is not much. Then he had about $7,000 on a credit card. This was open available. He had good credit, okay? So let me explain to you. So John took our free trial, okay? On the free trial, when we come down here, on the free trial, we spent about $300 on ads total, and that turned into, for him, about $2,300 in booked appointments. At the time we were speaking, he had already pocketed $1,600. He had about another $700 in future appointments lined up over the next few days from clients who generated him. He turned $300 into $2,300. That's an 8x ROI. In order to continue, there was an investment to work with us, obviously, there's an upfront investment. And then on top of that as well, he needed to pay for ad spend. So now if we go back up here, John only had $500. Let's say he uses cash. Well, if he only has $500 and he has bills, other stuff coming up that he has to pay for with cash, he has a car payment now. Granted, John's bills were only a few $100s a month. So he's in a position which he can take on more risk, and which I'll go over how I walked him through the decision process later. But long story short, if he used, let's say John was like, well, I don't have enough money to invest in my business, let me save up. Okay, so let's break it down. Okay, John at $500. If he wanted to even save up $5,000 or even a few $1,000s to put towards his business, he was currently making, after his bills, he only making a few $100s a month from his company as no other source of income, we can only put away maybe $100 a month towards it. It's going to take him 1 to 2 years to save up even a few $1,000s to put towards the business. Over the course of the 1 to 2 years of John was working with us on the free trial alone, in just over a week, we generated him $2,300 in appointments. We'll just call it 2K times 52 weeks in a year. That's $104,000. Now let's round down by 20% to be conservative. That means over the course of 2 years, we do 80K times 2, he would miss out on 160K. This is opportunity cost, right? This is how poor people think. Let me explain to you what the smart thing to do is. John had 7K on a credit card. John had all these limiting beliefs around why using your credit card at all was pointless. You wanted to keep a high credit score. First, I had to explain to John, how does your credit score actually work, right? This is not financial advice. There's really a few things that affect your credit score. Number one is your utilization, right? This is a big one for a lot of people. They say they want to keep their credit utilization below 30% all the time. I'll tell you why that's the stupidest thing you can do if you're not at least making $10,000+ a month in profit, okay? You want to keep your credit utilization. So the second thing is your credit mix. Credit mix is like, what are the different types of loans you've taken out? Auto, house, personal, credit card, right? Have you shown the banks that you can manage different types of debt and pay them back responsibly? So utilization, credit mix, your history, meaning like how many years have you had an active credit line for, right? The average age, your longest credit line. Utilization, credit mix, history, new inquiries, right? So you have new inquiries. Do you have a bunch of hard inquiries, or the banks say you're trying to get 1 million loans at once? A couple is fine. Harder inquiries usually go away in months, which is fine. Then you have missed payments, okay? So let's say you have 7K on a credit card, or you have a credit card that you can put towards your business. Biggest thing is, if you put money on the card, it doesn't affect your credit mix, it doesn't affect your history, it doesn't affect your new inquiries because it's already an open line of credit. It doesn't affect your missed payments, because as long as you make the minimum payment on it, you're fine. It doesn't affect your mixed payments. I'm gonna go over interest, I'm gonna go over all that stuff in a second. I'm gonna show you how to think through these decisions. It only affects utilization percentage, right? If you're not making at least $10,000 a month in income, you should not be worried about your credit utilization on a short-term basis, because your credit utilization, once you get your cards back under 30% or whatever idea you subscribe to, that it should be below whatever that is for you, your credit score will jump back up very quickly. So let me give you 2 examples, right? Let's say here, this is time, and this is, you're gonna be score and income, right? So that says score and income. So you have to be okay with the short-term dip in your credit score so you can use that money as an investment to get more income into your business. You have to do it smartly, okay? Don't go buy a bunch of new vans or tools tools or equipment, you want to invest it in marketing, a proven marketing system that can multiply your money for you. Let me break it down further here, so keep watching. It's important that you watch the whole thing so you understand all the different sequences I'm about to explain it, because if you just take one bit or the other with all the previous prior knowledge you have, you might think I'm crazy. Important thing here to understand is that if I just keep a high score and my income is low, let's say it's like sub 10K a month, it's really low here, well, I'm never going to be able to get the nice things anyway. I won't be able to get a nice house. I won't be able to get a nice car, even though I have a high credit score. I'll only be able to take a loan out for maybe like lower middle class loans, maybe what they buy. I won't be able to utilize my really good credit for nice things. I won't be able to take out big loans on vehicles, because if I'm only making $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 a month after rent, everything like that, if I want to live a decent life in a decent neighborhood, I won't be able to even save up for a down payment on a house. My good credit, I'll die with good credit and I won't be able to use it for many things, right? You need to focus on income. You keep your credit score high, you're not willing to endure a short-term dip, and your income stays the same. Now, what do I mean by short-term dip? From these things, your utilization, once you get, let's say your utilization is above 60%, as soon as you get some money coming in and you pay down your card, your credit score will jump back up very quickly, because your utilization is a fluid thing. If you take out a loan for your business on credit mix and you pay it off successfully, it actually shows the banks you have a good credit mix. What that means is that it actually helps your score long-term. If you've taken out different types of loans, you've made different big purchases and paid it off successfully, it actually helps. New inquiries is also a temporary thing. Let's say you open a new line of credit, or you're trying to use Klarna or Affirm or something like that to get approved for a purchase or something for your business, or Afterpay. Well, guess what? That hard inquiry fades away in less than a year, months really. So that goes away as well. But if that purchase allows you to invest in your business, where you can add an additional $50,000, $100,000 to your company over the next 12 months, was that worth it? If your credit score is going to end up right back where it was anyway, as long as you be responsible and you pay it off, the hard inquiry goes away and now your income jumps up. One of the best things you could do. Missed payments, that's very easy. Just as long as you just make above the minimum payment, you're fine, right? Going back to this example, let's say here I have a high credit score, then it dips down temporarily from like, whatever it is up to here, and then it goes back to where it was. But my income is able to go like this because of that investment. So let's look at the same mark here. Let's look at where both people stand here. This person has a way higher income, and their credit score jump back up because they didn't miss a payment, and their utilization dropped back down after they paid it off. That's really it. They made sure to never miss a payment. The utilization, they dropped it back down as they paid off their loan, and their new inquiries fell off after months anyway. So now their credit's back to here, but they made an investment to grow. So let me give you an example of what I mean by that. Okay, when John was working with us, he got an 8x ROI in his marketing. 8x ROI. Okay. John waited 2 years to save up money to actually work with us. He would have missed out on over $100,000, $200,000 at the rate we were generating him in sales. Instead, John used his credit card as credit to work with us, and now he's already making 2 to 3K a week. He has the full next 2 weeks booked out. He's going to be able to pay off his card within the next 1 to 2 months. Utilization is going to drop back down. He's not going to miss a payment on it. So within a few months, his credit score will be back to where it was. He's just going to be making 8 to 10K a month because he got the opportunity to work with us, right? Let me give you another example why credit is amazing. Let's say I want to spend $5,000 on ads this month for my mobile detailing company, right? And I'm going to make even just, 25K back in revenue after I pay my employees. I'm able to clear 10K in profit on that. Well, every credit card minimum usually gives you at least 25 to 30 days from the end of the cycle to pay it off. So what do I mean? Let's say it's January 1st, I make a purchase, okay? February 1st, they send me the bill for my credit card. They say, hey, here's all the purchases you made in January. Now, some of you might be the 7th, it might be the 15th, whatever it is. After I get this bill on February 1st, you have to make sure you check your credit card's policies so you understand what it is for you, but it's usually at least 25 to 30 days is the lowest I've seen. So let's say I make a purchase January 1st. They send me a bill for that, or January 15th. They send me a bill for that February 1st. I have now really until about March 1st to pay off. That gives me about anywhere from 30 to 60 days, depending on what time in January I make the purchase, to actually pay it off. That gives me 30 days. Let's say I go spend a bunch of money on ads. I book out my schedule for the next few weeks or months. The credit card company gives me 30 to 60 days to go collect that money. Then I can pay off my card in full. Or if someone makes the investment and work with us, that gives them 1 to 2 months to collect the money, that they make from working with us, ROI in the investment, pay off their credit card within a month or two, and now it's like nothing happened, right? That's ideal. Well, what about interest, right? Well, you have to factor in most credit cards. Let's say at most I've seen is 30% APR. Let's say you put $5,000 on your credit card. Well, what 30% APR means is not 30% a month, it's 30% over the course of a year. So 5K, this is rough math. You should use a credit card calculator, but rough math, this is close to accurate. 30% of 5K is $1,500. Now, you have to divide that by 12 months. months. Okay, divided by 12 months means it might be like $100 a month. We'll call it 120. It's about $120 a month in interest. That's almost nothing, right? If this allows you to invest to work with my team or get a marketing system where you can spend money on ads to where you can now do, let's say even just $7,000 a month, and from that, after all your expenses, you're clearing, an additional $5K a month in profit. First off, you can pay the card off of the initial $5K within the first couple months, but now you have the $120 in interest allows you to spend that $5K, because you wouldn't be able to do that because you don't have enough cash, right? It's like how real estate works. How real estate works is, let's say I buy a house. Okay, if I buy a house and the house costs 100K, right? If I don't have 100K, then I can't buy the house. Unless I use credit like a smart person. I can put 20K down, okay? Let's say now I can put 20K down. I rent the house out for, let's say, $1,000 a month. And my debt service, right, what I pay mortgage plus interest plus everything is, let's say, $700 a month. Well, now I'm profiting $300 a month in profit, right? Now, within a few years, this is just random examples I made up numbers wise. These aren't real numbers at all, but within a few years, I can make back my 20K. Let's go here. Let's go back to the example of John. Over the course of the next 2 years, let's say worst case, this is really low for our standards. Let's say worst case, we add 100K in profit to John's income in his mobile detailing business over the course of the next 2 years. 100K in profit over the course of 2 years because he took out the loan and worked with us. Let's say from that, he paid maybe like 2K in interest, right? He made 98K in profit. Well, that's because he used credit. He was smart and his credit score went down short term and went back up, right? When it went down short term, then it went back up to where it was because he, from the income he had in the business. Versus he spends 2 years barely saving away $200 a month, relying on word of mouth and door knocking. He might make 5K over 2 years. Well, he just missed out on 93K. So if you have access to credit, you want to use it in your business responsibly. Let me tell you what's responsible, irresponsible, okay? I'm going to put responsible and then I'm going to put irresponsible. Pretty sure that's how you spell irresponsible. Stuff that produces a direct ROI, it has to be proven. There has to be low risk, ideally. You don't want to go take the risk on credit stuff that's not proven. For example, let's say you're working with Rocky Detailer. We have a track record, right? We've done this for 300 detailers. Additionally, on top of that as well, you've probably already taken our free trial. So you see the system produces you an ROI. You've spent $200 on ads. You've made, $1,000+ back or booked that much. You can see the ROI. So now it just comes down to doing the math. Let's say you're like, okay, I need to come up with 5K. How much do I need to do to make 5K profit? Well, let's say after you pay for gas, chemicals, and ads, you're running at a 70% margin. You're an owner operator. That means you need to make about a little bit over 7K in revenue, because after ad spend, gas, and chemicals, you'll be able to walk away with 5K in profit, okay? So what do I mean by this? Well, if you make 7K, how much do you need to make 7K? How much do you need to spend on ads? Well, if you're getting about a 5x ROI, which is our worst case for us, that means it's 1.4K in ad spend. So if you put 1.4K in ads, you make 7K, you make 5K in profit. Let's say you put 5K on your card for any investment related to marketing, you can now pay it off within 30 days. That's how you do the math. It's proven, you've done the math. It has a track record of working. You've done the free trial, so it's low risk. You know what actually works for you. You can see it work in real time. The other option is, this is irresponsible stuff, okay? This is like equipment, okay? Equipment, tools, vehicles, all this stuff you don't want to buy with credit. This is how you stay poor and go broke. This stuff does not directly ROI, does not direct cash flow. If you have profitable advertising, if I can put $1 in advertising, book out a bunch of jobs, make 5 times my money back, 3x in terms of profit back after expenses, within a couple weeks after I complete all the jobs, I have a money printer. I want to put as much money into that as possible, whether it's credit or whatever, responsibly, right? Now, this stuff, the customer doesn't care whether I have a $100,000 van setup or I have a $2,000 Honda Accord setup. They don't care as long as I get the job done, but they do care if they can find me or not. That's why you want to use credit on profitable advertising related stuff. So I'll give you a framework. Here are my 3 rules. All right, if you're going to use credit for your detailing business, it has to be proven, it has to be profitable, and you have to do the math out. So hopefully you found that video valuable. We are now crushing it with John. He's hitting $2,000, $3,000 weeks. His life has changed. And a lot of people have these negative beliefs around credit, because I'll tell you this last thing. Most people are poor. They don't make a lot of money. They're great people. I believe all humans are equal, but most people don't know crap about crap when it comes to money. The general public, they work jobs. So as a result of that, they can't use credit as an investment. They can't invest their money to make more money anyway. The purpose of a business is investing money to make more money. If you have an investment that can make you money like advertising, but you don't have the cash and you have credit and it's proven, it's profitable, you can do the math out that it's a safe risk, you should go all in on it, assuming it fits your situation. Now, this is not financial advice, but I'm telling you, if you want to make a lot of money, this is how people who make a lot of money think. This is how I think. I took my own service business past $1 million a year, right? By 21. The richest people in the world, they don't use cash at all. If you look at Apple, they built a new super center somewhere, I forget. Let's say it's $1 billion to build a center. They'll go to Goldman Sachs, they'll get $1 billion in debt, and they'll get like a 1% or 0.5% or less than that interest rate because they're Apple on it. They can use the billion in cash invested in higher ROI opportunities. They can go make, 5-10% on that money elsewhere. They're ROIing, they're making profit from that center every month. The interest is very minimal in compared to what they actually profit from it, right? So my point is that if it's proven profitable and you can do the math on it and you have access to credit, you want to dive all in onto your business, because the biggest risk you can take is not taking any risk at all. Now, again, it has to be proven profitable. You have to be able to do the math, and it can't be any of this stuff like equipment, tools, vehicles. Don't go credit on that stuff. The website has to be able to you have to be able to direct draw a line A to B and how you're going to cash flow your money back quickly. Using Facebook, Instagram ads, working with my team is a great way to do that. So hopefully you found this video valuable. And again, like I was saying earlier, most people have terrible ideas about money when it comes to credit or general public, because most people use credit since they work a job. They're not using it for investing like business owners are. Most business owners don't know crap about crap anyway. Most people say, oh, I only buy stuff cash. Well, that's why you don't make a lot of money. Nobody who makes a lot of money buys everything cash. Most people work a job, so when they use credit, they're buying purses, they're buying shoes, they're buying clothes, they're buying watches, they're buying vacations. They make stupid financial decisions. You can use credit to make smart financial decisions for your business, and you're costing yourself way more money by not doing so if you have the opportunity in front of you, like you do if you've taken our free trial and you're working with us. If you're watching this video and you haven't already taken our free trial and you're a serious, young, hungry mobile detailer who actually wants to get advice and coaching on how you can take your detailing business past $50,000 a month. That's all we talk about here. Now, it's not for everybody. It's not for people who do this as a side hustle. It's not for you if you're not willing to drop everything and go all in. If we showed you a path to scale your company, if this is like a side thing to you, you don't have that North Star vision of going full-time with this company, do not click on the first link in the description. We don't want to work with you. Our program is not for everybody, and that's fine. But if you're in a position where you want to scale to those big 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month quickly with real business advice, not some fluff stuff. We don't talk about tools or chemicals or products. We don't care about that stuff. We care about business talk like this when it comes to making money. Click the first link in the description, take our trial. I'll see you on the other side.